Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for the penultimate episode of WandaVision, Season 1, Episode 8. Previously on, hopefully you all stayed for the stinger. There's a stinger involved in this one too. Welcome everybody. Let me take care of some business first and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match them as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button and the like and the share button as well. Also, if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tier saved on the Patreon. Waiting until I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm very, very close. I'm 24 subscribers away. And basically, once that happens and you guys give me money, I will give you stuff in return. Basically, it'll be a, month, you pay for a couple of months and then you get something in return. That's how it goes. Also, I have the links to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page for those of you who still have Facebook, so you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. There we go. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back, and this will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. You can always comment down below in the comment section, by the way. After the video and all that stuff. That's usually where, stuff goes to theorize and stuff like that down there. Holy shit balls. Yes. Spoilers. So we got a little bit of Agnes's background again on this. The Salem, well, it's not really the Salem witch trials. It was Salem in the late 1600s, and her mother and a bunch of other witches in the coven essentially tie Agnes to or Agatha, I should say, to a stake, and they're going to strip her of her powers from what it looks like. And she turns around and drains them completely of all their powers. Yeah. And so she is trying to figure out how the fuck Wanda got so strong. Because as she says, I've been studying for years, well, decades really. And hey, feisty. And she is nowhere near that powerful. She says Wanda is basically writing script, if you will, on stuff that's happening at the edge of town without even thinking about it. So she's basically just going by magic on demand, if you will. And we find out as she travels through Wanda's mind that Wanda has had these powers all along. And this is how the MCU is retconning mutants, by the way. So her and Pietro have had their powers all this time. She was born with them. And by the way, she is the first MCU character to be born with powers. Born with powers. Everyone else in the MCU so far that we've seen has either gotten into an industrial accident or an experimental accident, or has used tech in order to, or become a science experiment in Captain America's case. So yeah. So Wanda and Pietro are the first characters to be born as, with powers, is what we're seeing here. Yeah, Agatha basically says you used a hex probability on that bomb to keep it from exploding and also to protect you and your brother. Thor is an alien, Raymond. Thor is an alien and doesn't count. It doesn't count as having powers when you're an alien. Same thing with Star-Lord. I know everyone goes, well, Star-Lord, his powers don't work unless he's near Ego. So there you have it. Yeah. Yeah, the Stark bomb is the toaster. Yes, exactly. Move Finobi. We didn't get a commercial this time either, if you notice. This was another episode where we never got a commercial in all of this. And we also found out that Hayward lied, that Wanda never did. She had never stolen Vision's body. She created it on her own. Um, so that goes to that begs the story of what is animating this vision that she has. Is it her own psyche? Is it something else? We don't know. But we do know that Hayward was basically pushing Wanda's buttons to get her to blow up, if you will, because he needed a source of power to power his vision, well, the vision corpse, if you will, and using her chaos magic, which we also get Wanda's comic book name now, Scarlet Witch, from Agatha Harkness at this point. She's the first one to basically call Wanda the Scarlet Witch and say that she's using chaos magic, which is comic accurate at this point. What does this all mean at this point in time is that this has happened in the comics, by the way. West Coast Avengers, 1989, we had a vision that was devoid of his memories. He's essentially was a blank slate, and government agents had basically said that Vision's body needed to be rebooted or brought back online, if you will. And Simon West, who's the Wonder Man at the time, whose mind was the original implant for Vision that they used him as a blueprint, was unwilling to have it happen again. So that's why Vision was the white Vision, I guess you could say, was a blank slate. But he had the mind gem at this point. Wanda, on the other hand, wasn't working with. Well, this is the other interesting thing on this. Is she using part of the Mind Stone? Did she have part of that imparted onto her? Agatha says that basically the Mind Stone reawakened her powers that were withering on the vine, as she said. So they were going without use, and so the Mind Stone basically awoken her latent abilities that she already had, that she had used before, and forced her to use them. Is what was going on there. Yeah. So very, very interesting thing. Oh, and by the way, the government agents, they were implored by someone from the future named Immortus in the comics in order to get Vision back online. So I'm wondering if Hayward had a little visit from someone named Immortus, and Immortus turns out to be Kang the Conqueror, who is from the future, of course. And we already know that character has been cast. Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft Country has been cast as Kang, but we don't know in what yet because there's been no talk about Fantastic Four. Yes. So this is definitely very huge. It could be that Kang has been behind this all along, and we don't know what's going to happen because we've got one episode left and there's a lot of shit to unwrap. Man. So let me get to your comments here, what we've got going on. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit here because I know people were talking beforehand. Movie notes said, I wish we got some of this sooner, but it was a great episode. Raymond K. Hessel says, how many times did you cry? I think I counted 3 for me. I didn't cry at all, actually, which is, actually, I cried more at the Superman and Lois premiere, but that was a different story. Sukalakis. Yeah, I'm gonna murder your name, man. Hey, how's it going, man? But all that just to murder your name. Oh man. Also interesting that she couldn't use hex probability to save her brother. Maybe she had to be near him. Yeah, she wasn't anywhere near him. She was also busy kicking ass on Ultron at the time, and her powers hadn't grown to the. So having her have that grief that basically made her powers explode from that grief. That is the place that Agatha was talking about. She wanted to know where she got that from, and I she was basically in a pit of despair, if you will. Uh, her brother was dead, her lover was dead, she was in a foreign country, she's by herself, her parents are dead, all this stuff, all this tragedy that she has, and that's what brought out that intense grief and anger, and she exploded at that point. Ah. Mufinemi says when she exploded, the being appeared in her costume in the yellow mind stone. Yes. So that bean that I have a picture of as the thumbnail, that is actually Scarlet Witch's comic accurate costume. And by the way, I ended up tweaking it a bit more because it was mainly all yellow and you could just see the outline of the person. And I tweaked that photo a bit more so you can actually see the person a little bit better. So there you go. Do you think Vision survives the series? Yes, Raymond. So in the comic, Vision fights Vision, and he has to kind of rebuild his mind over time. He does end up rebuilding his mind, but there's a body swap that goes on, and all. Yeah, it's going to be insane. So what's going to happen is, I'm fairly sure what's going to happen is, the Wanda created Vision. His mind is going to go into the body of White Vision, if you will, and but he's not going to have the humanity that he had before. Is what's going to happen, and you're going to have some parts of Vision in there, but it's not going to be the same Vision. That it might be a little myopic Vision. We don't know. Yeah. Move whenever he says, "See, Dennis, grief makes you powerful, not grumpy." It can go either way. Um, Feisty says she was all crazy and sad in House of M2. She was. She was definitely. Yeah. And thank you, Move. Yes, that thumbnail. I was just pissed off that I couldn't find anything good, so I just went back into the episode and watched it and snapped a picture of my TV screen. Yeah. Raymond K. Hessel says, "So you think they'll retcon Wanda and Pietro's really real father too?" There's always a possibility. There's always a possibility on that. I want to see. I want to know what's going to happen with multiverses because we've already had multiverses mentioned at the end of last episode, and we also had it during a commercial too about multiverses. So we've had chaos magic mentioned. We got naming of Scarlet Witch, of course. We've had multiverses. We had Nexus involved as well, which in the comics, Scarlet Witch is a Nexus for multiverses, is what she is. She is a Nexus point, and uh, that was also mentioned as well. So one of the things I love about the MCU is they borrow from the comics some stuff, but they don't borrow like storylines completely. They will take maybe part of a storyline and bring it in, or they'll take, just an aspect of something and bring it into the storyline they already have going on. But yes, that's what's lovely about this whole thing, man. What if Vision is Ultron? Oh, that could be interesting, Feisty. That could be an interesting theory. What if Vision is Ultron? That would be very, very interesting. Huh. Hmm. Possibility. Yes, I know what you meant. White Vision. Yes. Uh, what if Hayward? So, excuse me, acting director Hayward. What if he is Vision, or I mean Ultron, and just trying to get that body up and running? He said basically they took apart and put together that body millions of times. So yeah, all kinds of possibilities. We don't know what's going to happen. We really don't. And yes, Hayward is a twat. He's a big twat. Um, Raymond says, "Did you notice the witches had the helmet too? The helmet? Do they have the spear and magic helmet? Spear and magic helmet. I don't know what you're talking about. The helmets. Um, no more Ultron, please. What Dante S says. Ultron shows up so frequently in the Avengers. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's hard to get rid of. Yes, her mother. Oh, that's right. The crown. You're talking about the energy crown, the energy spike. Yes. Yeah. I didn't see the Grim Reaper helmet. I have to go back and take a look then. Yeah. But yes, this is going to be interesting. We're going to have everything. And again, is she an actual bad guy? I mean, she also says, you can't use magic in a place where the witch has written the runes down. Only the one who wrote the runes down in the magic place can use the magic. Yeah. So, is she a bad guy, or is she a bad person, or is she a good person? Is she chaotic neutral? We don't know at this point. Um, Sulaculus says, I have to laugh that Project Cataract seems to be short. Yeah, I know. It really is. Well, we don't have a power source, and we really didn't have the power source to begin with because she was snapped out of existence and now she's back and now we do have a power source. So I'm wondering, is the Mind Stone actually the power source? And if so, is a portion of the Mind Stone in Wanda at this point? You know, kind of like Vision had the Mind Stone in him in order to imbue him with, life, if you will, or sentience. You think, Agatha might be an anti-hero? Possibly. Um, yeah. And the way she's been talking to Senior Scratchy and Senior Scratchy has been talking back to her, there's still something there too. Yeah. The yellow energy that came from her made you think that? Oh, from Wanda? Okay. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Possibly it could have been the last remnants of the Mind Stone creating Vision. Because I mean, Vision's got a little too much, well, one, power and autonomy within Wanda's world. He is waking people up. He keeps waking people up. Now, is this part of her psyche? Is this another part of her psyche? We don't know because we haven't been given that much information on that. And in any other lesser series, it probably would have bothered me about it, and I probably would have, bitched about it. But in this, I'm just waiting to see because we have one episode left. Yeah. Feisty says that she's got some of the Mind Stone power. Oh, yeah. Okay. Possibly. I'm thinking she does. Sulaculus says, I was wondering if she used chaos magic to create a new Infinity Stone. I don't. Oh, that is a possibility. She could have used the probability. Well, she did use the probability in order to survive meeting the Mind Stone, right? That because everyone else, we heard it from Zucker, Baron von Zucker there, Strucker, excuse me, that everyone else who had been exposed to the Mind Stone died, all the other subjects. So she was the only one that survived, and maybe she changed the probability of that, and as a result, was able to make her own portion of the Mind Stone, I guess you could say. Mufino says it was weird that Hydra saw nothing when they exposed her to the staff. Yeah, yeah. Well, not really. I mean, the Mind Stone does play with the mind. Mhm. Raymond K. Hassel says, we now got a price point for vibranium. Yeah. Vision's weight is $3 billion worth. Wasn't it 3.2 billion or something like that? Yeah. Mufinobi says, it's funny that Agatha threatens her kids, almost sharing that they weren't real. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. So the whole thing with Agatha holding Wanda's kids, hostage, if you will, and that never really. Yeah, we never really resolved what's going on with this. If her kids are real or not, or obviously they've got to be manifestations, much like she did Vision. We know that she can create things now. Um, yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm wondering how this is all going to wrap up. Like I said, one episode left. This episode, by the way, was 47, no, 44 minutes in length. Is that right? It was 44 minutes in length because 43 minutes in length. There we go, which is the longest episode we've seen yet. And I believe the last one should be an hour long. Well, hopefully it's 2 hours because we need that in order to basically wrap all this shit up. Yeah. Oh, I'm loving this too. I mean, this is actually good stuff. And this is going to lead into more MCU stuff. Um, Most likely with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we're going to have the Thunderbolts being set up. And with Loki, who knows what the hell we're going to get. Yeah. Raymond says, yeah, but the credits take up 10 minutes. Yeah, the credits do. No, well, that's true. The credits do take up a lot of time, and they are in the time of the. That's right. True. Yeah. A movie nobody says, Wanda, if she is that powerful, do you think she can break Agatha's spell in the basement? Not with the runes holding her in. But then again, if she can eke out just even a little bit of magic, like the chaos magic that she's got going on, and change the probability of the one of the runes crumbling, that would be a possibility right there. Penn says Loki could be Hiddleston reading the phone book, and I'd still watch. Ah, we know. We know, Penn. We know. No, I'm actually looking forward to the Loki series, which is it's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely, and now that we actually have a release date on it too, that it's coming in June, even better. So they're just basically going back to back. What's going to happen is a week after WandaVision ends, that is when Falcon and Winter Soldier starts. The week after Falcon and Winter Soldier ends, the Bad Batch starts. That's Star Wars, of course. And then I believe the week after, is this right? Yes, the week after Bad Batch ends, that's when Loki starts. I've been planning all this stuff out. So I've got my book of the magic book. That's actually my scheduling book, is what, by the way, that's what that is. My Jack Daniels, as you can see, scheduling book. That's how I keep all this shit on point. Raymond says, and what's taking Vision so long to get to the house? He might not know where she is, and we might see it in the next. Well, we're probably going to see what happens in the next episode. And then also, what about the fake Pietro? So we know the fake Pietro now is something that Agatha created to basically piss off Wanda and throw her off her game. But why? Why was that? We still don't have an explanation as to why. And why did she use, I mean, yeah, she said she couldn't use the body of her brother because it was on another continent, so she couldn't do any necromancy. But why would you do that version of Pietro that she did do? We don't know. Too many questions. And next week can't come soon enough. Yeah. I agree with you, Feisty. We can't wait. I can't wait. No one can wait. Let's start a petition to have Disney. I'm kidding. I really am. No more fucking petitions. Seriously. So, what do you think? You think Kang's going to show up at some point? Do you think that Mephisto is going to show up at this point? I really don't know. I really don't know. Um, Everything's up in the air. They have done such a good job at, you know, being so opaque about what's happening, yet entertaining at the same time that I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm usually pretty good at this. I'm usually pretty good at playing this game as to what's going to happen next. In this one, I can't fucking figure out, which intrigues me a lot, but at the same time makes me a little bit insane. So, yeah. Well, even more so than usual. Oh, man. So, what else do I have going on? Tomorrow will be Saturday morning blast off where I take the genre news of the weekend and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. Sunday and Monday, I'm off. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? But I don't know what I'm doing as of yet. I'll think of something. I'll find something, honestly. Wednesday, I'll be off. Thursday will be Resident Alien. And then, of course, Friday will be the season finale of WandaVision. That it's a possibility, Raymond, that Hayward could be Mephisto, but why would he manifest that way? And what does he want with Vision's body? You know? Um, I, yeah, I don't know. I think I again, like I said, there's too many damn questions, and they keep turning on us. The whole red herring with Agnes not being Agatha because we thought that she was under mind control with Vision. You know, when he kind of zapped her head and she comes out of it, that threw me, and I thought, okay, so she's not Agatha Harkness, and then of course it turns out to be Agatha all along, and yeah, so there we go. Your guess is as good as mine at this point because I don't know. And we'll find out next week, though. Posit your theories down in the comment section down below here. And yeah, we'll get down to it at that point. So thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com where I've got the schedule up for the entire week. Also, I have the links to my social media and the links to these pages here for YouTube, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. Thank you, everybody. It was a fun time chatting about this and theorizing, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But I'm going to let you guys go for the night. I will see you again tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off. So until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get exposed to the mind gem and freaky shit's going to happen at that point. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, take care, be well, and remember, wear those masks, take that vaccine shot. I'm still trying to schedule mine, and who knows when that's going to happen. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.